Wallbarn produces solutions for rooftop living. As part of that, we've developed our own modular green roof product called M-Tray. Green roofs have become a lot more popular in the UK in the last few years, and as designers and users really want to introduce some green spaces into city centres and urban areas. The rollout green roof has been the traditional way of installing green roofs, and Wallbarn found a lot of disadvantages of using this system. The rollout design of green roofs involves each individual element being installed separately, and if those elements are installed in the incorrect way, it can lead to the plants dying. The alternative to rollout is the modular green roof system, and that's where the green roof is supplied in small portable trays where all the drainage, all the substrate and all the vegetation has been pre-installed and pre-grown. There are a number of modular green roof designs on the market, but frankly we don't think any of those are good enough. So we set out to design our own from scratch. We needed to rethink the whole issue of substrates for extensive green roofs, and that's why we worked with a number of experts to try to develop something that combined the nutrient level and aeration that's required to keep these plants alive with the constraints that the construction industry and the roofing industry needs.
We've been developing the current substrate over the last 3 years, looking at different materials to use in the mix. We've wanted to avoid using peat because there are environmental issues with it. It also has some technical problems and it dries out and shrinks. So in a tray on a roof, we need to have something that's going to last a long time and we don't want it to degrade. For the organic part of the substrate, we've been using this coir or coconut fibre dust because that gives us the same benefits of peat, that it holds moisture, but it's also got good drainage. It's a waste product from the coconut industry. This is a lightweight mineral aggregate that we're using as an alternative to brick dust. So the aggregate gives us the weight that we need in the substrate, but without giving us that problem of poor rooting conditions for the sedum. The green compost we found is a very useful ingredient because it gives us water holding, so it gives us that water absorption. It also gives slow release nutrients over time. It's actually very environmentally friendly as well. We think we've achieved a finished product that actually gives us very good results in terms of the sedum growth and performance on the roof, and we're constantly trialling and developing new mixes to make sure we keep the optimum blend.
Sedum is stone crop. It's a native plant found all across Europe, very, very diverse, and it can cope with a huge range of harsh conditions, and so it's ideal as the base plant for a roof system. The sedum genera is awesome in its diversity. They flower over a huge period of time, the different varieties. Of the 13 varieties in our mix, some will be flowering in the very early spring, some in the autumn, some in the summer. Bees, butterflies absolutely love sedum, and that's what makes it so good to go on the roof. The M-Tray lends itself to automation. It stacks, you can destack easily, it runs down the ramps, it goes on the field. So the first step is basically tray laying. We use big agricultural animal feed machinery to mix the compost together very evenly so we can add our nutrients. Bulk hopper machine transfers the compost out into a machine that travels over the top of the bed. Now that machine on the bed levels the compost as it goes along and creates a very, very even fill for each of the trays. The seed is like dust, it's super fine. So we have to what we call hydro-seed the seed. We put it into water in the mixing machine and then let it dribble out on a boom so that as you're driving up over the beds, water is carrying the seed down and you're effectively irrigating the seed over the tray as it goes along. Someone has to supervise and check that those plants are getting exactly what they need, particularly in the first month. While they're being looked after, the better they get. The Wallbarn tray effectively is the right way to go because of the volume, sheer volume of substrate and water retention.
The M-Tray unit is injection moulded from recycled polypropylene, and we manufacture this in England. The 100mm depth gives the roots sufficient space to produce strong, healthy plants in the long term. Crucially, we have drainage holes in the central mass, but at the edges, we decided not to put the drainage holes there to try to keep more moisture within the substrate. We've also thought about handling and installation in the design of the M-Tray. The undersides of each tray has some grip handles. The corners are rounded and reinforced just to help prevent any damage. On two sides of each tray you have two clips, so each tray will connect to its neighbour very, very tightly, which will help give a seamless appearance when all these trays are laid down onto the roof. The tray clicks into place quickly and easily. We're on a roof space, we're not in a garden. Maintenance is often difficult. If you get damage in the future on that building, or if for any reason you need to take the green roof up to inspect that structure, you just lift one tray. It's almost like a living carpet tile. Our M-Tray product is so versatile, from small domestic projects to retrofit, right through to large-scale commercial projects. We've been involved in the roofing industry for many years, so we've got a lot of expertise in this field. We've got a very knowledgeable service team, both in the office and on the road, so we can provide advice and support to the end client and the designer, really through the whole process, and that's from concept stage right through to installation and including post-installation maintenance.